All right, I've got a band workout for you today, and I brought in my heavy band, my medium band, and my light band. So there's primarily going to be use out of the heavy and the light. The medium is just kind of when you decide, I could take a little bit more or I need a little bit less. So I'm going to help you use all of these bands and learn some great things that you can do with them. So I want to start off with a little bit of upper body work, and then we'll move into some lower body work, and that'll be when we use that heavy band. So go ahead and grab your light band right now. Your colors are probably different than mine, but it'll say on the band whether it's heavy or light, and it'll be on the band itself. And you can do this first exercise kneeling or seated. If it's difficult for you to sit in a position with your legs out or crisscross, what sometimes can be a lot more comfortable is to grab a pillow and slide that just right underneath your hips, and that will elevate your hips enough that you can sit upright a little more comfortably in your back and in your hamstrings. So always know that that's not cheating to use a prop. Just grab something that will help you sit more comfortably. So I'm going to start off with an exercise that's amazing for your shoulder stabilizer muscles, and Nala's going to come join me here. This is Miss Nala. So if you'll take the band just right around your wrist, and what we're looking for here is that our elbows don't flare out or our wrists don't flare out. We want parallel lines. So from the wrist to the elbow, I have a nice parallel line. And then from here, we're going to give a little bit of outward pressure in both the wrists and the elbows. And we're going to slide those arms up so you're straightening them. And then you're going to pull them back down and bend them. And notice I'm really trying hard to keep them pretty parallel. I see my elbows were flaring out a little bit. That's all right though, a little bit is okay, just exaggerated is not what we're after. And I want you to be able to feel this in the shoulder blades. So your shoulder blades are spreading apart, and then you're using your armpit muscles, or what we call your serratus anterior, to pull down. So this is an extremely good exercise for that serratus anterior, and you might be surprised how difficult it is. I'm already feeling some real saucy heat right here. This is also an exercise, if you wanted to, you could do it against a wall, like take your elbows and just kind of slide them out a wall. And then some people even use a pillowcase. I find the band just as easy, and you don't have to wash it like a pillowcase. Oh my, I am feeling the heat. I hope you are too. We're just going to do about one more. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your neck. I felt myself kind of driving my neck forward. Woo, and then bring it back. Yeah, all right, shake it out. Maybe a little bit of neck release here. Those neck muscles do try to get involved sometimes, so let them go. Next exercise I'm going to do is we're going to get into a bicep curl. So taking your legs out straight is going to be necessary because you got to have something to resist against. So your foot is going to hold the band, and I'm going to take my right hand into the band, try to pull that elbow back so it's not all the way out here, and we're going into a bicep curl. Now this again is my light band because it's pretty intense. My leg's kind of long. The longer your leg is, the more intense it's going to be. Excuse me, getting the allergies today. Yeah, so we try to go about 8 or 10 reps of everything. If you got to 8 and you're like, I'm not really feeling fatigued, give yourself 10 or even 12. So you can always increase those repetitions. We'll say 8 to 12 reps. That's a good number for good muscle development. Let's get about 3 more here. And 2. And final 1. And before we switch over to the other foot and the other arm, I'm going to go into a little bit of a row here. So I'm turning my arm sideways now. Think about kind of drawing a bow or pulling that wrist past your rib cage or to your rib cage, and you can add a little rotation here. Think about the rotation coming from your heart and also your neck, so you're getting that cervical rotation as well. Good. And we're drawing that elbow back in space. I can definitely feel this. We've got 6 and 5, 4, nice, 3, 2, and 1. What I love about these bands, as we switch to the other foot, is that these are so easy to take on a trip. I went to Italy last year and I took the bands, and I mean, they didn't take up any room in my suitcase. So you can get a good workout even if there's not a gym, not a facility that you would want to go in. And they pack so easily. They just wad up into a little, Ziploc bag. So nice and easy travel companions. All right, we're getting that bicep curl on this left side. That shoulder is down and back, as opposed to letting it hike up here by your ears. Trying to keep all that tension out of that upper trap and that neck and really isolate the bicep here. Good, we got 3 more. Hang with me. Remember, the reps are up to you. You can do between 8 and 12. That'll be a great number. All right, now we're gonna go into a row. So the elbow is down, the wrist is sideways. We're pulling and adding a little bit of rotation here. So I just like that. One thing I often do in my classes, I'll take this hand behind my back so I can get a little bit more openness in this shoulder while I do that rotation. And I say that because sometimes we let this side collapse in. And so this just allows you to open and expand that chest as you turn and rotate. So just lots of little extras that you can do to really help your posture improve along the way. Posture, alignment, all those things. This one feels really good for me today. We got 3. And 2. And final one. Beautiful. Okay, there's just a couple more things that I want to do with the arms, and then we're going to move on to some leg work. So you guys remember that we started like this when we were keeping the band nice and even from wrist to elbow. Now we're going to go up and we're going to make a wide V with those arms and then bring them back down. So take it up, open, and bring it back down. Notice that my wrists are nice and strong and straight rather than letting them just fall in like that. So it's actually good for the wrist. As I work with my clients, I'm going on almost 30 years of doing this. I notice how our wrist mobility starts to become limited as we age. And so really strengthening those wrists and keeping them mobile, both are important. And so this is an example of strengthening those wrists as we keep the arms, hands nice and straight. It's like one straight line from the lower arm to the fingertips there. Yep. And I had a little accident on my bike a couple years ago, and I can really feel the difference between my right hand, my right wrist, and my left wrist. Let's go 3. So yeah, it's shoulders, but yeah, it's wrist. Last one. Great job. All right, once again, maybe a little stretch for those neck muscles. Make sure we're not overdoing those over traps. You guys ready to move into some leg and glute work? Okay, so this is where I'm gonna take my heavy band, but if you decide that that's too heavy for you, we're gonna move into the medium band. Actually, I think I'm gonna stand up first because I have this lovely series that I love this series. Kind of hate this series. So I'm gonna toss my little pillow out of the way here. Starting off with the heavy band down around my ankles. So putting it around the ankles. This one is a little bit like a dance move here. Gotta show a little tiny bit of coordination as we work through it. But we're gonna do a step forward. So the right leg is step forward, my left one stays back. And then I just come back. By the way, if your band feels like it's too long, you can always put a little knot in it. So what I'm doing is I'm working the front of the quad here and the back of the hamstrings and glutes to stay stable on that side. So I'm just stepping up. And I'm gonna do about 8 of these, so let's get about 3 more. 3, and 2, and 1. Good, now I'm gonna go out to my right side. So I step out wide and come back in. Step out wide, come back in. And you can go down into a squat if you want a little extra here, or just a step out is fine. Let's go 4. And 3, I'm really feeling it here on the left side, and 1. All right, now we're gonna go back at a diagonal, so we're stepping back with that same foot. Good, just bring the foot back and forward, back and forward. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. All right, this is where it gets to be like a dance move. We're gonna add a combination here. So between every one, we'll step to the side. So I step forward, and then I step to the side, and then I step back, and then I step to the side. That's it. So forward, side, back, and side. And you don't have to do this with your hands. I'm just helping you see it visually. So hands can go on your hips or wherever you want. Forward, side, back, and side. And again, forward, side, back, and side. One more set. Forward. Are you feeling it? Side, back, and we'll finish off with that side and bring it back in. Whew. All right, shake it out. Right out here is where you should be feeling it. Let's do the left side now. So we start off with just the singles in each direction. So we'll go 8 steps forward. For those quads. Yeah, hear me breathing. 4. It's just habit. 3. Pilates breath. 2. And 1. And now we're going to step out to the side. 8. 7. Stepping on my bands. 6. And 5. 4. 3. I know you're feeling it about now. 2. And 1. And then we'll go backwards at that diagonal. 6. And 5. 4. 3. 2. Final 1. And ready for the combo. So it goes forward, out to the side, and back, and out to the side, and forward, side, back, taking these bands with me, side, and forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, and side. 2 more sets. Forward, side, back, side. Last set. Forward and side. Good job. Back and side. Ugh. Getting that burn? I know you are. All right, we're going to shake it out a little bit. And in contrast to doing these abductors, or the outside of your glutes, we're going to do some work now on your hip flexors. So come on down to the floor, and we're going to lay on your back. And you're going to change just the orientation a little bit of the band by bringing it to the bottom of your right foot and the top of your left. Now this is one of those exercises where you can kind of get squinched up here or scrunched up in those shoulders. We call this gripping. And so if you start to feel yourself squeezing those shoulder blades, one way that you can prevent that is just bring your arms straight up in the air, and that just kind of rounds your back a little bit and flattens the scapula back into the floor. Okay, so we've got nice deep breath in here. We're going to extend the right leg out by hold this left one in, okay? And then we bring this back. So it's a push out with the right one, and we're just holding this left one in. We got 6. We're going to reverse this here in a second. And 5. So abdominals are working here. This left hip flexor is working as well. 3. And 2. Good, and then final 1. Good, now from here we're going to bring this left leg out and we're going to pull it in. So it's 8 and 7. Go higher than lower with those legs so you can protect your low back. 5 and 4. 3. Feel that hip flexor work. 2 and 1. Sweet. All right, hug those knees into your chest. Wrap it out just a little bit. Rock it out a little bit. Take that release. And then we'll go to the other side. So I'm going to hold my right knee in, and I'm kicking this left one out. Again, option to bring your arms up. I'm going to bring mine down so you can see a little bit better. So I'm holding this right knee in. My right hip flexors are working, as well as my left glute and hamstring. Back of the leg on the pressing leg, front of the leg on the holding leg. That's it. Core is working as well. Those abdominals, obliques, all those babies turned on. We got 3. And 2. And final 1. Beautiful. Now the right leg goes out to join it. And again, I would go higher with those legs than lower, because the lower you get, your low back will start to feel it. And we're going to pull that right knee in and then straighten it back out. Pull that right knee in, straighten it back out. 6. And 5. You can see I'm trying not to arch my low back. I'm sealing this space between me and the floor. 3. We got this. Last 2. And final 1. And then pull those knees into your hips. We'll give them a hug, rocking it out side to side. Okay, this last little bit is one of my favorites. It's again coming back to help those abductors. We're going to do it by bringing your feet straight up in the air, holding those legs like that. And we're going to kick the legs out to the side or open them out to the side. Feel that really tight resistance, but then hold it here. And without arching your back, try to push your heels just a few more inches. Now, I realize not everybody's going to be able to get their legs straight like this. So if it looks like this, that is fine. That's where you are now. The only thing that I ask is that your knees separate with your ankles rather than keeping your knees inward and your ankles outward. So keep both of them even and pulse out. We got 6. I know, 5 is a high count. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then bring it back in. Okay, and then in addition to this, we're going to do a few more things with those legs up in the air. So again, if the legs are not able to get straight, bent is perfectly fine. On this one, we're going to keep the left leg static. That means still, and we're going to bring our right leg down. Now, I know that you're going to be tempted to hold on to that left thigh. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying if you do choose to do it, try not to hold on for dear life with that thigh. Try to make your muscles do the work, okay? So we are keeping that left thigh still as we bring the right leg down. So if you choose to hold on to it, don't just pull it forward. Let that quad and hip flexor hold that left leg up in the air. And let that glute and hamstring bring that right leg down towards the floor. My classes are always surprised at how tough this is. We've got 3 and 2. And then final 1, we're going to hold it here and we're going to do little scissory pulses. Pull those heels and ankles apart from each other. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring it in. Nice work. What I've noticed personally, and also with so many of my clients, is that as we age, our hips get to be one of those real big problem areas for women. And so exercises like this that work your abductors and all of those muscle groups that are around your hip complex can really be helpful. So maintaining some of those deep stabilizers. Okay, so same thing now. We're going to keep that right leg up this time. And again, I don't mind if you hold behind the leg, but just don't make those arms do all the work. Get those quads to do part of the work, and hip flexor. And we lower that left leg down, and then we bring it back up. Yes. And again, this could look like this if you are not able to straighten those legs. Yeah, just be careful with the band. It'll roll up on you. So try to get a nice angle. There is a little trick with the bands. You have to kind of respect them in order that they don't roll up on you. So the biggest rule of thumb is just try to create a nice, consistent amount of pressure on them. The harder you go, and I'll show you, like if you go real hard, the band is going to roll up on you. So be just real consistent. Slow downward pressure, slow return. Ooh, are we at 8 yet? I think so. Let's do one more. Shh. Beautiful. All right, hug those knees into your chest. We'll rock it out a little bit side to side. And then we're going to slide that band up off of your feet. Come on up to a seated position. I'm going to show you kind of a fun, playful, childish exercise just to finish off and get ourselves a little bit of a stretch. So I'm going to start off just by going out into a hamstring stretch here. So those legs are extended out. You can pull on that band to help you bring your chest forward and your head forward. And then stacking the spine, roll it back up. And again, forward, roll, bring that chest low, nose to knees. See what you have here in that stretch. A lot of times if those hamstrings are tight, they'll do this, and that is okay, no problem. Just listen to the hamstrings. You really want to respect them. Okay, now the fun part is we're going to bring the knees up into a tabletop. This is the kind of childish part of it. And we're going to extend those legs up, and I want you to just see if you can rock out a little bit. So you can bring your back down. Actually could have started there. And just see if you can kick into those legs and rock up a little bit. Don't let this be the exercise that you break your band. So if you're feeling like you've got too much pressure on that band, just come back to the knees and just do a few little rolls here. But this is really nice for the spine. It's a massage. Joseph Pilates has one of the exercises called rolling like a ball, and this is basically a modification of that exercise, rolling like the ball, and it's just stimulating those nerves on the back of the spine. Little spinal massage is really good for you. A nice little way to finish off today. All right, guys, I hope you had fun with me. I had fun doing this band exercise with you. So check out our other videos, and it's great to have you. Have a great day.